CoSA is a volunteer program, independent of the structure of the correctional system. But our work can't happen without the cooperation and shared vision of our correctional partners. We are privileged tonight to have with us two special guests, one from federal and one from provincial corrections, both of whom will share a few words with us. First, I would like to invite Barb VanVugt, the BC and Yukon District Director for CSC Community Corrections. Let's give Barb a big hand.
Thanks so much, Maureen and Linnea and your team for inviting me back once again for the CoSA Volunteer Appreciation Dinner. Speaking of the dinner, I noticed that, Maureen, you tried to get out of your hot spot in the table ordering prioritization system by delegating it to my wonderful area directors. Yet I couldn't help but notice, though, that every time they selected a table, you were jumping up and down with your hands in vocals. So I don't know what exactly that accomplished, but I think all eyes are on you for next year anyway. So. Anyways, it was a fabulous dinner. I'll echo what you said about the Eagle Quest team. That was an absolutely delicious dinner, so thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. I'm also sort of sharing this time on behalf of our Regional Deputy Commissioner, Denny Boucher. So not sure how many people have had an opportunity to meet Denny. He's been with us just over a year as our Regional Deputy Commissioner for CSC in the Pacific region. He was not able to attend, but he did ask if I could pass on some greetings and some remarks on his behalf. So on his behalf, and on behalf of the Correctional Services Canada, I'm very pleased to be here to celebrate you and your valuable contributions as volunteers of Circles of Support and Accountability, and to recognize the positive influences you have on offenders in our communities. I know Linnea spoke a little bit about some of the results. I'll share a little bit of our results from our perspective as well. I just wanted to acknowledge the land on which we gather here, the territory of the Coast Salish peoples, including territories of Kwantlen, Katzie, Semiahmoo, and Tsawwassen First Nations. RDC Boucher sends his acknowledgements to both Archbishop Michael Miller and Reverend Harry Nye, who I shared a table with today. And he wanted to acknowledge Reverend Nye, Correctional Chaplain from Ontario, who started the first Circle of Support and Accountability. To Reverend Nye, thank you for your vision and faith of Circles of Support and Accountability and what has become a worldwide program in helping our communities remain safe. To Archbishop Miller, thank you for your support in helping to make the Vancouver Fraser Valley Circles of Support and Accountability chapter one of the largest in Canada. You are currently helping released offenders remain safe in their communities. RDC wanted to mention that National Volunteer Week is April 19 to 25. It's, as a long-term member of the Correctional Service, it's probably one of my favorite weeks, and then sometimes we don't always get our events all lined up right exactly at that time, but it's always a really special time, no matter if you're working in a community or in an institution or at a regional headquarters, to take an evening or an afternoon and to gather with our volunteers and celebrate the accomplishments that they collectively have and share with us. This year's theme is It's Time to Applaud This Country's Volunteers, and we're here to do just that. You as volunteers with Circles of Support and Accountability give your time and faith in support of this program, but it's much more than that. You help offenders become better prepared as they reintegrate into our communities. I think I would just add that there's no shortage out there of ways that people can volunteer their time. And the fact that you folks have chosen CoSA, and by extension our offenders are our men and women who are first incarcerated and then living in the community, always makes me very proud to be part of that partnership. For many offenders who have been incarcerated for extended periods of time, being released into an unknown world brings many challenges, some of which may be unexpected. You help them by facilitating practical needs, providing a consistent network of emotional support, developing constructive and pro-social strategies to everyday problems, and challenging their behaviors and attitudes associated with their offense cycle. Offenders who are supported through CoSA have dramatically lower rates of reoffending, as noted earlier. Existing research shows that sexual reoffending rates for men who participate in CoSA are 80% lower than men who do not. Reintegration is a challenging process. What may work for one person does not necessarily work for another. CoSA helps to provide tailored response to that individual's needs. Subsequently, by providing those supports to offenders, the community benefits by realizing a reduction in recidivism, an increase in public safety, and having a productive member of society in their neighborhood. Your example of compassion and acceptance shows other community members that it's okay to welcome these individuals back into their neighborhoods. I wanted to add that there's a couple of items in the Minister's mandate letter to CSC. Many of you know Commissioner Ann Kelly received her mandate letter from the previous Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness. And this was the first time that a Commissioner's mandate letter was made public by a Minister's office with a goal of increasing our transparency and accountability to the public. In it, the government speaks about its priorities for CSC. Partnerships is a key theme throughout, indicating working with volunteers, community members, and our many partners and stakeholder organizations. The letter tells us that our responsibility to Canadians is to ensure that when offenders return to their communities, they are well prepared to lead safe, productive, and law-abiding lives. It also recognizes that we serve a very diverse offender population, and helping offenders manage their own unique challenges will better prepare them. The mandate encourages us to make the most of the experience and expertise of many partners, and this includes CoSA. You have been providing support to the offenders since 1994. Your roots run deep within the faith community and among the restorative justice community. It is not just offenders who benefit from your devotion and services, we all do. One way that CSC measures success in helping offenders safely reintegrate is by looking at how the vast majority do not get a new federal sentence. I'm happy to say that we are doing better than we ever have in this respect. The total number of offenders under CSC's jurisdiction has remained stable in recent years, and on a typical day, 2018-19, CSC was responsible for just over 23,000 offenders. The population of offenders under community supervision was at its highest, at almost 9,300, and it is on an upward trend that is expected to continue in the coming years. In 2018-19, more offenders on conditional release successfully reached their sentence, expiring without readmission, in comparison with the results 5 years ago. Notably, in the Pacific region, the rate of convictions on supervision for serious or violent offenders was less than half of the national rate. Although CSC's overall offender population has decreased, the proportion of offenders supervised in the community on a conditional release is at its highest in recent history. Your work with offenders also plays a role in how successful offenders are. At the end of the day, with your help, we are making our communities safer. Over the past 25 years, your hard work, devotion, time, and compassion when dealing with our offenders has made a great impact on their success. I'm sure that each and every one of you can think of someone who has come a long way that you have either witnessed or helped as a volunteer. I applaud each of you on your achievements and willingness to help each other succeed. Congratulations on Circles of Support and Accountability's 25 years as an organization dedicated to helping Canadians stay safe. I want to extend my gratitude to all of you who volunteer with CoSA. Thank you for all that you do and for the offenders that you support. Thank you for your time, your faith, your willingness to share your experiences with us, your staff, and our offenders. And on that note, I just wish you a very enjoyable remainder of the evening. Thank you.